Everyone's got secrets they don't want to share, but I bet you probably didn't know about these families that secretly control the world. I'm your host Michaela, and today I'm going to tell you the top 10 families who secretly rule the world. And make sure to subscribe and hit that bell because it lets us know you're enjoying our content. But now let's get started. Number 10, Morgan family. The Morgans were friends of the Rockefellers, who I mentioned later on. John Pierpont Morgan borrowed 100 tons of gold to the US authorities during the bank crisis in 1893. That's how they came to control the gold in the USA. And then they started financing companies such as AT&T, General Electric, and others. For a while, the Morgans also funded Nikola Tesla's research. The Morgans were always friends with the US Ministry of Finance, and many people claim that precisely Morgans were those who forced the USA to participate in the First World War to protect the loans they gave to Russia and France earlier. P. Morgan Jr. borrowed $500 million from the USA, and he took 1% of provision for everything that his company sold to the US Army. Conspiracy theorists believe that the Morgans prompted a Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor by promising the division of profit. Today, the Morgans still owe the biggest family reserve of gold, and allegedly it is connected by a tunnel with the New York branch of the US Central Bank. Number 9, the Kennedy family. The Kennedy family is an American political family that has long been prominent in American politics, public service, entertainment, and business. In 1884, 35 years after the family's arrival from Ireland, Patrick Joseph Kennedy became the first Kennedy elected to public office, serving in the Massachusetts state legislature until 1895. At least one Kennedy family member served in federal elective office from 1947 when J.P. Kennedy's grandson, John F. Kennedy, became the member of Congress from Massachusetts until 2011, when Patrick J. Kennedy II, John's nephew, retired as a member of the U.S. House of Representatives from Rhode Island. Number 8, the Koch family. Fred C. Koch started America's largest private company, Koch Industries, when he co-founded the Wood River Oil and Refining Company in 1940. His son Charles took over as chairman and CEO after he passed in 1967. Three other sons, Frederick, David, and William Bill, also inherited stakes. A power struggle among the brothers led to an ouster of Frederick and Bill, whose shares were reportedly bought out for nearly $800 million in 1983. Brothers Charles and David Koch expanded their father's oil refinery firm into conglomerate Koch Industries after their other brothers Frederick and William left the business following a failed takeover. Today, Koch Industries generates roughly $100 billion in revenue annually. David Koch, who stepped down from a leadership position in the company in 2018, has pledged to contribute more than $1.2 billion to cancer research, hospitals, education, and cultural institutions through the David H. Koch Charitable Foundation. Number 7, the Astor bloodline. This wealthy American family, whose fortune, rooted in the fur trade, came to be centered on real estate investments in New York City. John Jacob Astor was a founder of the family fortune. His son William Backhouse Astor, who inherited the major portion of the estate, continued his father's program of investing in Manhattan real estate and greatly expanded the Astor Library. Stung by accusations that he was a slum landlord, he attempted to renovate some of the older tenements owned by the Astors. At the same time, he more than doubled the family fortune, leaving an estate valued at nearly $50 million. Number 6, the Rockefeller family. John D. Rockefeller became America's first billionaire after founding Standard Oil in 1870, which eventually controlled the majority of the country's oil refining. He and his son John Jr. dedicated themselves to philanthropy, giving away more than $1 billion and establishing the University of Chicago. In 2016, the Rockefeller Family Fund, a family philanthropic entity, made waves when it announced it would divest from all fossil fuel investments. John's grandson David was the oldest living billionaire at age 101 before his passing in 2017. His will designated most of his wealth for charity. The family's fortune is split among 174 members, and in total, the family's net worth is $11 billion. Number 5, Walton family. The Waltons are the richest family in America, and by some measures, the wealthiest in the world. At the top of the value chain in 2022, Alice, Jim, and Rob Walton are each worth around $60 billion, and ranked number 16, 18, and 19 on Forbes' billionaire list. Walmart is a retail behemoth. Founded by Sam Walton in Arkansas in 1962, Walmart is now the world's largest company by 2021 revenues, with $524 billion and over 2.3 million US associates. If Walmart employees comprised their own city, it would be the third most populated American city. The company operates approximately 10,000 retail stores worldwide and 4,742 stores in the US as of May 2022. That's known for big box stores in rural and suburban America. Walmart is celebrated for its low-priced products and criticized for its labor practices. The company failed to bring its big box consumer lifestyle to New York City, unlike its competitor Target. Number 4, the Ferrero family. The Ferrero fortune dates back to 1940s Italy, when Michel Ferrero created what is now known as Nutella. Nutella's immense popularity in Italy helped grow the family chocolate shop into a multi-billion-dollar business that now also produces Ferrero Rocher, Tic Tac mints, Kinder chocolate, and Butterfinger bars. Despite the ubiquity of its products, both Ferrero himself and the company have maintained an extremely low profile, to the point where their security measures have been compared to those of NASA. Michelle's son, Giovanni Ferrero, is now the company's CEO and the richest man in Italy, Business Insider previously reported. Number 3, Johnson Family. So based on the title, I'm sure you can guess which one this is about. But if not, maybe this will jog your memory.
We work hard, so you don't have to.
All over the bathroom.
S.C. Johnson, a family company.
Robert Wood Johnson founded health products giant Johnson & Johnson in 1886, providing the world with dental floss and first aid kits. His son, Robert Wood Johnson II, was nicknamed the General and took over the family business in 1932, in the process turning it into a global brand. The General and brothers Seward Johnson both passed with enormous fortunes. The General left the bulk of his to the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. The rest went to heirs, including Woody Johnson, the maligned New York Jets owner and scandal-plagued ambassador to the UK in the Trump White House. Woody's 2017 federal financial disclosures said that he had $1.7 billion in wealth outside of the Jets. Recent ones are unclear on where those assets stand. The company is one of the largest financial services firms in the world, providing investment services to millions of people. The firm is now run by Johnson's granddaughter Abigail Johnson, who ranks 75th on the Forbes billionaire list at a net worth of $21.2 billion. Number 2, Rothschild Family. The Rothschild family is a wealthy Jewish family originally from Frankfurt that rose to prominence with Mayor Rothschild, a court factor to the German Landgraves of Hesse Castle in the Free City of Frankfurt, Holy Roman Empire, who established his banking business in the 1760s. Unlike most previous court factors, Rothschild managed to hand down his wealth and establish an international banking family through his 5 sons, who established business in London, Paris, Frankfurt, Vienna, and Naples. During the 19th century, the Rothschild family possessed the largest private fortune in the world, as well as in modern world history. The family's wealth declined over the 20th century and was divided among many descendants. Today, their interests cover a diverse range of fields, including financial services, real estate, mining, energy, agriculture, winemaking, and nonprofits. However, over more than 2 centuries, the family has frequently been the subject of conspiracy theories. These theories take different forms, such as claiming that the family controls the world's wealth and financial institutions or encouraged or discouraged wars between governments. I'm not gonna get super into it, but it's said that they have been linked to the missing Malaysian airliner, the Twin Tower attacks, and the sinking of the Titanic. The premise here being that the passengers included Benjamin Guggenheim, Isidor Strauss, and John Jacob Astor, 3 rich guys who opposed the creation of the Federal Reserve and therefore stood on the Rothschild path to world economic domination. Number 1, Bush Family. It all started with Prescott Sheldon Bush in 1895. He became a member of the Yale group's Skull and Bones, and allegedly Bush was behind the failed military coup in 1933, which was aimed at taking power from Franklin Roosevelt. During the Second World War, as Bush was the head of the Union Banking Corporation, the bank which was eventually impounded due to proven business connection with the Germans. Prescott's son, George H.W. Bush, became the president of the USA during the 80s of the last century, and his grandson, George W. Bush, was a 2-term US president. They both launched conflicts with Iraq, in which companies such as Halliburton or KBR, which are linked to the Bush family, generated enormous profit. The Bush family has been considered the most powerful family in US politics, and they also have exorbitant amounts of money in the banking and oil sector. But that is all, and thanks for watching.